Welcome to Financial Health channel. Man's pursuit of happiness. I try to give an explanation of what it means for me to go from the economic man to the man in pursuit of happiness. This transition is important because it could help us deal with the various problems with which we are confronted. Climate change, global epidemics, economic and financial crisis, the regionalization of trade, changes in energy policy, the rise of autocracy. This last one is the most important because it determines how all other issues are handled. For some time now, I have wondered how autocratic ideas are able to capture a large audience in rich, developed, democratic countries. Of course, I approach this subject from the point of view of someone living in a rich country. I can only speak from my experience as a citizen of a developed country. I approach this subject without having to worry about finding food and drink from day to day. My words are not universal, but the subject of how our conscious chooses is universal, just as our physiology is universal. At first glance, my response was guided by what is obvious in front of me. Regimes, autocratic and democratic politicians, their relation to public opinion. Both are paid to distract us. They are not there to lead, to manage the problem that we have to face. Their access to leadership position is only a byproduct of their brand lobbying business. They bustle on stage saying what their fan wants to hear and doing what their sponsor tells them to do. This great spectacle is distributed by social network, TV, radio, the written press, which are paid to receive the expert, also paid, whose comments go in the direction of the sponsor of the politician. This information, which is not, is offered to us on multiple digital platforms. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, we are glued to our phone screen on which appear notifications to join our friend or group that have the same reaction as we have to certain event comment. I say reaction and not thought because there is no appeal to reason, just a trite, granular reaction that frees the tribe. Once we join the tribe, we need our daily dose of doom, disaster, anxiety to keep clicking notification and warning so that social networks make their money enslaving our freedom. At this point in my reflection, I feel an embarrassment, a dishonesty. I blame social network, our political media system, in the same way that we blame the rich, the bosses, for all the ill we have, but this responsibility is shared. Indeed, La Boétie had explained it well. Our share of responsibility comes from our participation in the acceptance of what has been put in place by those who have the means, the wealth, the power. The strength of their power depends on our degree of participation. As long as we agree to give them what they want from us, we will continue to complain about our fate, which is in our hand. So, La Boétie was in the time of Montaigne in the 16th century. What is a relationship with social network today? Even if the levels of power are different today, radio, newspaper, TV, social network, they are nonetheless levels. The mechanisms are the same because we are the same being, a body and a consciousness. If we want to continue to debate the laws that our language has built, we must be as much as a conscious as we are a body. Why is it so difficult? This awareness confronts us with our own death, our finitude. We know that at any time our life can end. Even though we know it, we live without recognizing, without accepting this state of affair. We strive to find distraction to hope to forget this paradox. Our media appeal to our emotion. We respond to this call to distract ourselves from the awareness of our death. Our emotions are an integral part of who we are. These emotions affect our thoughts and decisions. The more we give our time to this distraction, the more we sink into unhappy happiness. It's a bit like we would like to know immortality while pushing back our mortality. It cannot be hot and cold, light and dark, atom and emptiness exist interdependently. If we refuse our mortality, we gradually abandon our conscience to become an object in the form of our identities. The professional, our online nickname, the friend, the husband, the aunt, the poor person, the rich. As an object, we conform to the behavior of this role like a letter opener. Our consciousness disappears, eclipsed by our reification. We have become tools at the disposal of our virtual tribe, which entertain us by continually feeding our hope. We take refuge in an illusory happiness where the sorrow of our neurotic rages grow. What to do? We must put our conscience back on the throne of our life. This will bring us face to face with all the choices we have made. We will realize that much of our life does not represent who we are. Either way, we must accept responsibility for these choices. This assumption of responsibility is only possible with the acceptance of our death, which arises from the shadow of our oblivion at the moment when our conscience has driven our identities from the throne. This acceptance then puts us in a state of emergency, of awakening. As being of infinite project, we do not know when the deadline of our project is. What is important is the action itself once the decision has been made and not the result. Our decision cannot be dictated by third-party media platforms, whatever they are. We are our choices. We exist in the present world in reality without any illusory expectation. Finally, to reunify our consciousness and harness our neurosis to our advantage, we must rid ourselves of our identities. Not forget them, but lighten ourselves of them in order to be able to pass as consciousness through the eye of the needle, our mortality. Accepting our mortality is one thing, but dying to live is another. It is a passage towards our rebirth. We then reach immortality. Indeed, at this time, we have become conscious emotional beings whose choices continue to live in the other because of their impact on the world. And this immortality is inscribed in the present eternity, which is the happiness of knowing that we are mortal. This is where our share of the responsibility for our fate lies. It's our choice, no one else. An unhappy happiness or a real joie de vivre.